And welcome back to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online here on Spreaker across America. And this is it, folks. This is what we're doing right now. We're going to call this the beginning of our 45 minutes of non-stop talk. That's right. We're going to be talking for 45 minutes. No promo breaks, no breaks completely. Just full 45 minutes of non-stop talk. So we'll talk to you straight up until about 19 or so minutes after 4 o'clock right here on GJRB Online. So stay with me. We're going to talk right now. Clean up until the 4 o'clock hour, a little past the 4 o'clock hour here on GJRB's. We're going to be wrapping up the Gary Russen program for today. So stick around. We got more great talking on the way here on GJRB Online. And we're going to talk a lot about stuff. We're going to have a good time this next hour because we're going to start getting in this now. As I earlier, I was talking about Dana Loesch. She is a part of, I guess, where she works with Glenn Beck, I think. She's on the Blaze. And this woman has really said it like it is. I was telling you. Now, as I said earlier in the program, if you got kids listening to this with you, or if you're listening to this on an iPhone somewhere, either you got kids around, either you get a pair of headphones, or you listen to this podcast later, because she gets a little strong on the language here, because she's irritated with the leftist movement. She's about had it. She calls it the godless left, and they wonder why why the liberals call her the godless. Check this out. This is Dana Loesch.
You know what? If you have a problem with being called the godless left, maybe don't be the godless left. You do realize that in the wake of this terrorist attack, when people were saying our thoughts and our prayers are with those who are affected in the San Bernardino terror attack, you had the New York Daily News, and you had elected officials, and you had journalists mocking people who were simply asking for prayers, mocking them. Saying, well, we're so glad that the GOP can save everybody from ISIS with their prayers. Here's an idea. How about you guys stop letting terrorists in? How about you guys stop supporting policies that reduce the criteria for unvetted foreigners to get visas to come into this country? Because you all have blood on your hands right now. It wasn't the NRA that made the rule that said we're not allowed to look at the social media activity of people who are unvetted and coming from hotbed areas of terrorism like Tashfeen Malik. I don't know if people missed Government 101 and how all of this works, but that was actually Jay Johnson at the Department of Homeland Security. And by the way, he upheld that rule in 2014. It wasn't Wayne LaPierre. See, Wayne LaPierre is an older white guy. Jay Johnson is a younger black man, and he works with DHS. Wayne LaPierre is at the NRA. Maybe you guys are illiterate and you don't know what all the letters stand for, but the NRA is made up of millions of people who are just like me, and we want to fellowship and protect our Second Amendment rights. We don't make policy decisions, and we sure as hell don't work at DHS. That y'all's guy, Jay Johnson, right? He was the one who was appointed to that position by President Barack Obama, who also supports this rule that was upheld in 2014. And it was that rule, ladies and gentlemen, that very rule that allowed inside these United States Pakistani fiancé visa applicant Tashfeen Malik, who, by the way, was ranting on social media for years about her jihadi fetish. She was fetishizing jihadism online. But because Jay Johnson was so obsessed with political correctness and so obsessed with optics, which I'm sure is going to be of great comfort to the 14 families who lost people in San Bernardino that day, I'm sure they'll find great comfort in the fact that Jay Johnson did all he could to make sure that DHS was beyond reproach in terms of political correct optics. It was him who made that decision. It was he who upheld that decision, not the NRA. So, yes, why don't you people stop supporting policies and candidates who want to lower the criteria and let every Tom, Dick, and Harry from every hotbed terrorist activity cell around the world into the United States? Because we've kind of had about enough of it. I'm really tired of hearing people attack the NRA. You know, I had a fender bender in a Taco Bell parking lot one time, and I didn't call AAA and go off on them and accuse them of being responsible somehow for this. It is sickening to me that we have an administration that promised to keep Americans safe, and they haven't kept Americans safe. We've had beheadings in Oklahoma, a terror attack in San Bernardino, a terror attack in Boston, a terror attack at the Naval Yard, a terror attack in Chattanooga, a terror attack at Fort Hood, and every single one of these people were showing signs, exhibiting something. But our blessed government, the government that says it's going to protect you, its number one job is to keep Americans safe. They didn't do it. And now they want to make sure that you're not able to protect yourself and pick up their slack. I have a problem with this. I have kids. I have a family. I also value innocent life. I value my life. And I have a major problem with this. I also have a major problem with all of these tragedy, dry-humping whores. I do have a problem with them, and I'm not watching my language because it's about time that somebody call you out for what you are. You sicken me. You are the people who run away from supporting things like Project Child Safe. You are the people who run away from supporting programs like Eddie Eagle Safety. You are the people who believe that ignorance is the key. Whereas millions of mothers like me, we believe education is the antidote to ignorance. We believe that what our children don't learn inside of the home, they're going to learn outside of it. So, to make up for all of the ignorance that these people have been professing in their communities and teaching to their families, we have to make sure that we're doubly responsible.
Yeah, here you go. And that's Dana Loesch, and you're going to hear quite a bit of her on this program. Because she tells it like it is, folks. Gotta tell you, she made the point across real clear, and she does not like the way the liberals are running this country. And real good points there. And I want to thank Stephen Mucha, my good friend, who caught her to my attention, because she fires off, boy, does she fire off. Wow. Tells it like it is about, she blames the liberals for what happened in San Bernardino a number of years ago. And now, here's coming up in our news. This is a story I had previewed earlier. We'll have it in the news again here. The military services, the National Guard, the Coast Guard said they're going to challenge Donald Trump's announcement about transgender in the service. Commandment of the Coast Guard. They're speaking out, and they have no intention of leaving transgender Coast Guardians out in the cold. They spoke at this topic the first time in the Center of the Strategic International Studies on Tuesday morning. Administrator Paul Zukondift said that the first section, upon becoming aware of Trump's tweets, to have the office reach out to all 13 members of the Coast Guard who are self-identified as transgender. Lieutenant Taylor Miller, who was featured on the cover of the Washington Post last week, stated, quote, "I reached out personally to Lieutenant," this is Coast Guard, this is Zukondift, can't pronounce his name, Zukondift. Anyway, he said, this is his quote, "I reached out personally to Lieutenant Taylor Miller, who was featured in the cover of the Washington Post last week. If you read the story, Taylor's family has disowned her family, and the United States Coast Guard, and I told Tyler I will not turn my back. You have an investment in you, and you made an investment in the Coast Guard. I will not break faith." So, her family turned on her because of her transgenderism, and but the United States Coast Guard is standing behind her in this transgender thing. So the United States Coast Guard is not going to, they're going to challenge Donald Trump's ruling on the on transgenderism. So what do you think about that one? Interesting. Otherwise, down the line, I'm going to look at another story that I'll be previewing for the top of the hour, and that is this story coming from Fox Business. This story says the Americans receiving Social Security benefits for 2018 can expect to see the program's largest payment increase in years, according to the trustee reporting released on Thursday. In January, recipients will receive $28 monthly increase in its benefits, which includes an amount of 22.2%, and much larger than the 0.3% increase in its benefits received collected this year. In 2016, the program offered no payout increases. The average monthly payment for the program is 61 million beneficiaries and is $1,253. So I guess what's going to see is that the average payment for the program's 61 million beneficiaries will be $1,253. Despite that good news, Social Security and Medicare are still dealing with looming cash shortfalls. The OASDI maintains funding levels which could run dry by the mid-2030s. Medicare part of the project will be depleted in 2029, 1 year later than projected in the last analysis. So, yeah, you have to wonder about that one. Okay, let's see what other news we're going to cover for you this afternoon, and see what's on. Because this is GJRB's original news talk program, the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. You're welcome to be part of the show. All you got to do is give me a call, area code 563-613-4260 on the GJRB cell, or you can call me get a hold of me on my Spreaker, and you can talk to me. I am on the Spreaker studio mixer, on the studio thing, so the chat button, I'll see a number by there. I'll hit the chat button, and I'll talk to you in real time. So if you want to talk to me and say hi in real time, the chat room, and I will get on the radio with you. You get on the radio, I'll read some of your comments and stuff that you talk to me about, and we'll see what you think. Now I'm going to go down the line a bit and see what some of the comments are about the stories I have just read, and see what we've got here. Rachel is relaxing. That's good. Let's go up the page here. Let's see. This story about racism. This one. This is a story that's quite interesting. This is, I notice what his name is at this point. I think I would have pronounced it.
I think racism.
Okay. And this talks about racism. This is on the Fox, on the 5. Jesse Waters responded to Fareed Zakaria's claim that Donald J. Trump won the presidency because of a rebellion from the white working man.
I think racism is just another excuse like Russia to make sure Hillary doesn't accept responsibility for losing to Donald Trump. And I think we've got more from Spanish and from Obama to Trump, just racist a couple years. So I think that not because of writers, but because of people like Aria who were so out of touch the last year. Everything was going so in the economy, and they kept talking about bathrooms and the rest of the country and what about us, Trump spoke people, now why won.
So that's the reason why Trump won. Okay. That in his opinion. So I guess to him it wasn't the Russia probe. It wasn't the fact that Russia invaded in our elections. It's that they claimed that the presidents won because of white men, by the white working man. So a lot of people, Fareed Zakaria, I believe his name is, who said that, and apparently, interesting. Now this one here, AMC, I don't know. Preacher claims Jesus fathered the son, lives in a bunker. Part of a point to say that AMC's preacher jumped the shark in terms of Christianity, but certainly doesn't stop the show. Well, okay. Let's see. Here's another one. I was mentioning this earlier. And I'm not sure, saying it's fake news. Now, I had this on my news last night I was prepping this program, and I almost got myself into trouble. Well, I didn't get myself into trouble. I would have just been announcing fake news. Former Price is Right host Bob Barker is not dead. Last night a story was posted on the Facebook across the internet that Bob Barker fell, cracked his head open, was sent to Cedar Sinai Hospital in Hollywood after he fell in his Hollywood Hills home, and had a bad fall and cracked his head open, and he died at 94. This is fake news. Now, I'm wondering if Bob Barker, if he found out that this was going around and circulating, if maybe perhaps he was going to... You can't imagine that he was kind of flabbergasted at his own story. Really? Because why do people put fake news on there if it's not true? Now, I did check sources. And there were two sources come up on this. One was from a friend of mine and his wife. And then another one came up, and I think it was Yahoo. I don't remember. Two stories. And then I listened as I was listening to Coast, George Norrie didn't say a word about it. Fox didn't say a word about it. And there was no other postings all across the internet. So flags started going up saying this story I don't think is real. And there's an article about this. In July of 2016, a website called Action News 3 published an article reporting that the former Price is Right game show host Bob Barker had died of a head injury sustained in a fall. And that Bob Barker was rushed to the hospital after falling out by his Hollywood Hills home. This is a hoax, fake news once again. Single disputable source reporting that there had been a major entertainment news coverage on this. Right? No disreputable source reported this. No major news outlet, no entertainment outlet reported this. Like I said before, I saw this last night. There was another posting, and I don't remember where it came from. And then I didn't hear anything. I was listening, and I was listening to Coast to Coast with George Norrie. I was listening on Premiere, and I listened to Coast to Coast, Fox News at the bottom of the top of the hour, every hour. No story about Bob Barker. I said, I think that was a phony story. And boy, I was right. Phony is a $2 bill. Bob Barker is alive and well, folks. So, yeah, I guess believe me, I checked my sources before I saw this. I checked my sources before. I don't know why people, I don't know, it's totally downright ridiculous that people have to put this fake news on. Mainly because they need a hobby. Seriously, I think that's what it is. It's in dire need of a hobby. Because there's no other reason for this kind of stupidity. We have to put fake news on to get attention. And sorry about that. I'm not directing you, Janet. You might have got it from somebody else, okay? So I'm not directing it at you. Just Janet Leach, my friend's wife. Yeah, you posted that, but it was a story. So I'm not directing it at you. I'm directing it at some people, though, that would have the nerve or be stupid enough. Actually, sorry, that again. Let's just say a little bit on the lame side. Let's just put it lame side to post the story. Check your sources, folks. Hey, I got I've got Skype open if you want to be part of it. I got Skype open right now. You can get in on that. I'm online on Skype. Gary.Russen. If you want to get on Skype and talk to me. The line that's opened. I've got that set up. And I've got a line open right here on the GJRB cell. So let's take that line and see who's there. Hello?
I have a joke for you.
Yeah?
What do you call a train that has a code?
I think I did this one before. The train that has a cold. Yeah.
It's a choo-choo train.
Yeah, it's a choo-choo train. Yeah, it has a cold. Yeah. So I found me some drum roll for these jokes. Yeah.
I'll back.
Huh? Okay. All right. Lovely. Yeah. The jokes. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I got to download that. I got to download that drum roll. I can do that. I can download it to an audio by taking the audio out of my YouTube. I can take that and put it on my Spreaker for the fun jokes. So if you want to get on the program, area code 563-613-4260. I have more stories that I want to talk about this afternoon, and we might have more Dana Loesch later too. Coming close to 4 o'clock, and this is GJRB online, yeah, and this is the Gary Russen program, GJRB's original news talk program on Spreaker, and usually sometime, and we're in the middle of 45 minutes of non-stop talk, and on the freestyle, we're doing freestyle now. That means that we are now doing the show with no interruptions whatsoever, no news, no commercial, no promos, no spots, no nothing, just straight through for the next 45 minutes. Here on GJRB Online. We're getting pretty close to like about, well, let's see. I'm going to do something real quick. I started about 2:35:28, so I gotta go into my time calculator for a minute, make sure I got that calculation right. Hang on a second. 3:35. Okay, 3:35:28. Approximately, and 45 minutes. Okay, well, straight until 4:20, so we got about a little over 21 minutes left to go in our 45 minutes of non-stop talk here on GJRB Online. That's right, there it is, 21 minutes and 10 seconds left in our 45 minutes of non-stop talk. Boys, time flies when you're having fun, right? Yeah. 45 minutes of left to go on our non-stop talk, and I'm Gary J. Russen. Hope you're enjoying the program. This is GJRB Online on Spreaker, and this is GJRB. This is GJRB's original news talk program. Yeah, that's right. This is GJRB's original news talk program, the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. And glad you could be with me today. It is getting pretty close to the 4 o'clock hour here on GJRB, and I'm Gary J. Russen, and this is GJRB Online in Clinton, Iowa, and I'm looking for my on the hour time tone, and I can't find it. Where is that damn thing in the list? Oh, here it is.
From America's homeland, this is JRB, Clinton, Iowa.
And again, it's 4 o'clock in the Central Time Zone right now, 5 o'clock East and 2 o'clock Pacific Time. And it is now 3 o'clock Mountain Time. And this is the Gary Russen program, GJRB's original news talk program. I'm Gary J. Russen, and of course we're having a blast here doing this program in the afternoon. And we have just about 19 minutes and 36 seconds left of our non-stop talk here on GJRB Online, so we're kind of stretching a little bit. I thought we'd take this time and go into our Twitter. So, time to tweet. Yeah, I need to get a bird sound for that. Time to tweet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, anyway. Okay, I was going to tweet that. It didn't sound right. Anyway, lovely. Yeah, and I got my wife on the line, has them on hold, so we're kind of sliding it down the page a little bit as we head into Twitter. And I'll go down the page here and looking at some of the stories that are going on here and some entertainment news and stuff and a lot of various other stuff. What the? Oh, here we go. Elephant stops traffic. He wants a snack. Yeah. Okay, that's daily news. Okay. All right, look on the page here. Let me see what we got here. I guess there's another Star Trek movie coming out. I think there'd be another one. I haven't seen any other one. I lose track. They got all these new Star Trek movies out. What else they got out? They got all Star Wars. It's like I lost track of the whole freaking story with Star Wars. You know, I'd almost have to spend a whole day and have a big giant Star Wars marathon because I lost track of Star Wars. Seriously, I did. I lost track of Star Wars. I lost track of Star Trek. And for some reason, I just haven't been able to catch up with these shows. They make so many of them now that I can't keep up with them all. You know? Let's see, what else we got here? Going down the page here, some Clyde Lewis. Find some more stories here. Children are overdosing on vitamins. That is an interesting story I'll talk about here. That's an interesting one. 5 great cars for first-time drivers. Let's see anything else here. Look at this. Okay, let's look at Miami, Florida. Puddles are deeper than ever. Great advance of Miami responding to the scene this afternoon. So it's raining in Miami, I guess. Is it raining in Miami? This was posted 20 minutes ago from Weather Nation. Okay, let's see. Sarah Huckabee Sanders suggested Trump weigh in on his son's response to the Russian meeting. Okay, that's from the Huffington Post. This story from the Huffington Post. I don't waste 10 minutes on there because so Sarah Huckabee Sanders weigh in on her son.
Short amount of time.
So we're going to, and here it is. Washington White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders on Tuesday said all confirmed that President Donald Trump dictated his son's public response to the meeting of the Russian lawyer. Her statement directly contradicts the president's legal team and may place in a legal jeopardy as there are multiple ongoing investigations on whether or not Trump's campaign colluded with Russia last year.
This all happened. Actually, our top story this morning really crystallizes the challenge for the new chief of staff. We're going to begin with that new report that President Trump overruled his closest advisors and members when it came to the initial response to the New York Times story about that meeting between Donald Trump Jr. and a Russian attorney in 2016. Now, those advisors reportedly full transparency, but were overruled. The president's personal direction, I just want to put that in quotes because it's really important for everyone to really keep in mind here. The biggest issue may be President himself. That may be the biggest challenge. The Washington Post, citing multiple sources with direct knowledge, reports that the misleading 4-sentence statement was personally dictated by the president flying home from the G20 summit on July 8th. So think about it. He gets away from everybody. There's everybody else to him, gets on a plane, and overrules his inner circle, the kids. According to the Post, presidential advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner knew how damaging the emails could be, explicitly in the campaign. The report says that Hope the White House Director of Strategic Communications huddled with players and advocated for a more transparent approach. In one scenario, these people said Kushner's team talked sharing, including the contents of the emails with the mainstream organization. Hicks reportedly also spoke by phone with Trump Jr. about the strategy of transparency, believing the complete story would eventually emerge. As boarded Air Force One, President Trump apparently means the president directing that Trump Jr. describe the meeting as unimportant. He wanted it to say that the meeting had been initiated by the Russian lawyer and primarily was about her pet issue, the adoption of Russian children. In a forward cabin, Trump was busy working on his son's. The president dictated to Hicks, who served as a go-between with Trump Jr., who was not on the plane, according to people with knowledge of the discussions. John called the story fake news, incorrect, misinformed, of no consequence. Another one of his buddies, Jay Sekulow, used similar language. Trump told the Post, "I have no evidence to support that theory." The president intervening. So,
wow. So, yeah, that's Sokolov. I hear his name quite often. I think he even has a program on one of the other networks, but it just, I don't know. It just gets all confusing. I don't know. It's getting crazy. So, down the page a bit now. We're going to go down a ways and see what else we can find. And then we're going to go into Google+. There we go. I'm looking right now at the Gary Russen program. And if you are a follower of me on Twitter, I am the Radio Maniac. And as soon as you see the old radio emblem on there, and it says the Gary Russen program 080117 Part 3, that's it. That's what you're listening to right now. And all you got to do is just click that arrow, that play emblem, and you can... it'll open up the widget. You can listen to the program right there on Twitter. You don't even have to go on Spreaker. And you can listen to the program, and you can also respond. It'll take you right to the GJRB Spreaker public site, right on my chat room, and you can leave a message right here, and we'll talk right here on the Gary Russen program on GJRB. We have about 11 minutes and 48 seconds left on our 45 minutes of non-stop talk here on GJRB Online. So I think we're way overdue for some sports. So I'm going to flip back over to Facebook, and I'm going to get rid of some tabs, because sometimes it'll slow down the computer, so I'm going to get rid of some tabs, and we're going to go back into Facebook, and I got some terrific sports. Very J Sports. Yeah, that with big glasses, yeah. Wild, that one. That's great. I love it. Anyway, let's put love on that. That's pretty cool. I'll have to put that one later. All right, what we're going to do now, we're overdue to do some sports because we haven't done a sports page at all. So we're going to do that before we leave. So we're going to go in there and get a sports page update theme here. On Saturday, I was talking about Colin Kaepernick. And remember I said something about this on Saturday's show about Colin Kaepernick? And the people are not too happy with him being signed with the Baltimore Ravens. Coming up, I got a story for you. You got to check it out.
Sports page update starts now.
Yeah. People do not want Kaepernick to sign with them, but now, here we go now. Check this out. This is according to a story I just saw posted on Facebook on the news here. Check this out. You're going to want to check this out. This is interesting. Ravens want to sign Kaepernick, but fans' issues are 5 brutal words that officially end his career. It's going to end Kaepernick's career for good. Yep. As we know it, Baltimore, the birthplace of our national anthem. The football fans over there do not want that player playing with that team. The NFL, who disrespects it, and they don't want any NFL disrespecting it. Okay, they don't want Baltimore signing Kaepernick at all. They don't want it. Period. Okay, the birthplace of the national anthem. There's fans there are gonna say no. He's sitting through it. We don't want him here. It was reported a few days ago that Ravens are seriously considering signing him, but apparently Ravens fans don't want it. And according to Mike Silver of the NFL media, the Ravens have heard thousands of messages and numerous fans who say that they do not want Kaepernick. They're regarding Kaepernick as in the last couple of days. Many staunchly is opposing the signing of him. Quote, "We do not want Kaepernick here." Michael Shaw said on a recent tweet, "The Ravens have heard from numerous fans regarding Kaepernick in the last couple of days, and many are staunchly opposed to the signing. However, it is not the first time fans require their teams not to sign Kaepernick. A few months ago, Giants co-owner John Mara told a similar backlash against the idea of signing Kaepernick to the Giants, quoting, all my years of bringing in the league, I never received any emotional mail from people when I did about this past issue. If any of our players ever do that, we will never be coming to another Giants game." And this is a quote, I don't remember who. But anyway, it wasn't one or two letters, it was a lot of letters and emotional issues for a lot of people, more so than any other they've run into. Even though another report has emerged claiming that Kaepernick will stand for the national anthem throughout the NFL season, the NFL executives still do not want him. And despite assurances that end this protest in the field, Kaepernick traveled to Africa to shame the United States over slavery on the 4th of July and posted a controversial tweet comparing the police to slave catchers. "If you ask us, Colin Kaepernick definitely deserves this, and he continues with his behavior. He will not find a club to play ever. Ever." So you see, he's done. I mean, then see, there's a lot of people out there, and this is the left-wing crying liberals. They're crying because they feel that Kaepernick is getting an unfair treatment. Yeah, maybe he is, but he continues to stand against the United States. Why? And against the national anthem. Why sign Kaepernick if he's going to do this? Why? Okay? Because people are not going to go to the games, and if people do not go to the games, the football teams lose profit. And when the football teams lose profit, and no one goes to the games because of one football player, they're not going to sign him. Period. Starter or backup quarterback or whatever, they're not going to sign Kaepernick because of all this, okay? They're not going to sign him. It's just definitely over for this guy, okay? He's finished. He's done. He's made his mark. He's finished. Okay? So, I personally think that what they need to do now is to just, Kaepernick, do something else, man. You're done with football. People don't want you here. You sat during the national anthem last year. You ruined people. They're patriots here, and you will not be playing here. And yeah, the national anthem's home is Baltimore. And that's one of the places of the birth of the United States of America. So people are not going to want you there if you're going to be against the United States. So pack up and leave, my friend. You're finished with football. I don't know. I have to wonder, though, if he's going to get a job anywhere else with that kind of attitude. It just makes you wonder. It really does. Your opinion on that. You know what you think. I think that Kaepernick is through, and quite frankly, fans are not going to put up with that kind of stuff. let's see. I was talking about the eclipse. The solar eclipse is 20 days away, and a lot of people are already signing up in places. Yeah. Now, I'm wondering about this. I need to ask my pastor about this tomorrow during the last 7 days, because I'll be up there recording that. It's not going to be visible in Clinton, Iowa. No one will get to see the eclipse here in Clinton, Iowa. Is that what it is? You have to go way to St. Louis. You have to go way south here. It's not visible here. Why? I mean, I would think that it would be seen here too. Why do people have to pack up, get a hotel, and go to St. Louis to see an eclipse? I thought you'd be able to see it here. I just don't get that. If it's supposed to be coming across the United States, why isn't the eclipse being viewed here in Clinton, Iowa? But these are the best places, apparently, to view the solar eclipse. And one of them is St. Louis. But Clinton, Iowa, or the Quad Cities area, I guess you just won't see it. That's what I'm getting. So clear me up on that if you can. Love to hear from you. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left of our 45 minutes of nonstop talk here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. I'm Gary J. Russen. Hope you're enjoying the program. Glad you could spend the afternoon with us today and enjoying the conversation on the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online. I've got more sports coming up throughout. This is our freestyle edition, nonstop talk here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. And I hope you're enjoying the program, and I hope you're tuning in, and keep it here for the best in internet talk radio. GJRB's original news talk program, the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online, here in Clinton on GJRB Online. And for people listening here on the 9-foot signal, that's 107.9 megahertz on the FM band, where you hear the Gary Russen program on the 9-foot signal, Talk FM 108. So we're going to be taking a program break, and we're going to be taking a program break. We got about 1:15 left on our 45 minutes of nonstop music, so that gives me a chance to say that puts an end to our 45 minutes of nonstop talk here on GJRB Online on the Gary Russen program. And join us every Gary Russen, just every Gary Russen program, or at least on weekends on our Friday editions of the Gary Russen program, and our Freestyle Friday editions, our semi-freestyle Wednesday over the hump day editions, and all our freestyle programs, the Gary Russen program, for 45 minutes of non-stop talk. Where we talk straight for 45 minutes with no promo breaks, no ads, no nothing. Just plain talking at you. So we'll be right back for the conclusion, our final part of the Gary Russen program in just a bit here on GJRB. Be right back.